Today we're breaking down the latest housing market data from the Valley MLS June 2025 report and what it means for buyers, sellers, and investors here in North Alabama. Spoiler alert, inventory is rising, but prices are not falling. All right, first let's jump into the Huntsville market. Median sales prices were up $5,000 year over year, $345,000 for the median price range home versus $340,000 last year. We did see a slight decrease in the number of homes sold in Huntsville, 635 homes sold versus 685 last year. That's a 7.8% decrease. We also had an increase in terms of the number of homes on the market, 2734 versus 2237. All right, jumping over to the Athens market, the median sales price was down slightly, $4,000. 322 versus 326 this time last year. Home sales were relatively flat, 183 versus 189. Athens has consistently performed well in terms of home sales and consistent prices as well. There were an increase in terms of the number of homes on the market, another big increase, 25.7% increase. Over 1,000 homes to choose from in Athens, 1,030 versus 819 last year. The Morgan County market has been one of the more affordable markets, so prices have continued to push up in that market due to that affordability. Really something interesting here to look at because median sales price went up $12,000, 253 up to 265 this year. That was with an increase in the number of homes on the market as well. It had more than 100% increase, 286 all the way up to 578 homes to choose from in Morgan County. Also, the number of homes sold had a big increase as well, 38.2% increase, 115, now 159 homes sold in 2025 in June. So overall, let's start with the big headline. Inventory continues to surge, up 20.5% year over year for single family homes. That puts us at 4.5 months worth of supply, which is technically considered a balanced market, neither a buyer's market nor a seller's market. Anytime you fall between 4 to 6 months worth of supply, if we continue to have 20% increases year over year, that would push us into that buyer's market. However, I do think we're gonna see interest rates come down before we hit that level. So again though, at the same time, closed sales were only down 2.4% and days on market increased 10.5% to an average of 42 days. What does all this tell us? Well, homes are sitting on the market a bit longer, buyers have more options and a bit more leverage than they've had in the last few years. Now here's the part that surprises most people. Despite the increase in supply and really the economic uncertainty we've all been feeling, prices have held steady. In fact, actually the average sales price has increased year over year, up 1.5% up to 373,000 and some change. That means even with more homes on the market and fewer bidding wars, sellers are still getting strong prices, 98.1% of list price on average. Typically, I like to see that number around 97% to be more of a balanced market. So still sellers are getting a good number on their homes. That is, factoring in also new construction and some of the most desirable homes. But even with all this, selling has been a good thing with average sales prices going up 1.5%. So with all of this, the 4.5 months worth of supply, economic uncertainty, average sales prices increasing 1.5%, this kind of resilience in the face of all this economic and global uncertainty speaks volumes for our market. If price hasn't dropped under these conditions, it's really unlikely we'll see any major pricing pressure this year. I believe we have at least 12 to 18 month window, an opportunity before the next economic cycle begins and really brings those higher prices and stronger demand, which will likely be brought in with lower interest rates. The best buying opportunities, in my opinion, are likely going to be between now and the end of the year. Savvy buyers and investors will act now. I think everyone else may look back on 2025 and wish that they had acted with all the potential jobs coming into the area, all the potential economic growth that Huntsville could experience over the next 5 years. If you're thinking about buying, this could be your time. There's more to choose from. Sellers are more negotiable. Rates, they're still higher than the pandemic lows, but they are projected to drop over the next year. If you're waiting for prices to crash, the data just doesn't support that. Not here in North Alabama. Our economy is way too strong. Inventory is catching up, but demand remains healthy in our market. So my advice for sellers, well, first of all, sellers, the sky is not falling. Yes, you'll need to price strategically, focus on curb appeal, but homes are still selling at 98% on average of list price. And the right home in the right condition can still move very quickly. Partnering with an agent who knows how to position your home properly in this market really makes all the difference. If you're thinking about buying or selling or both, you just want a clear picture on what's going on in your neighborhood, we offer free buyer and seller consultations. Really, it's no pressure, just facts, strategies, and options. Click on the link below to help get started, and let's help you make a smart move in this market.